Doug MPA back with another video. So guys, I've done videos about men and female dominated workspaces on my channel before. I want to continue that now. I found this article called On Being Male in the Female Majority Nonprofit Sector. Men share their thoughts on being male in the majority female nonprofit world. This article came back in 2010, but the statistics on how many women are in the nonprofit world compared to men is the same. Did you know that 75% of nonprofit employees are women? And in 2024, it is still the same. Look it up. So this article still applies. And one more thing, the problem with nonprofits and why it's female dominated is women that get degrees in, what are the 6 degrees? I always say that women get that don't matter. Say it with me, guys. Psychology, sociology, social work, criminal justice, some kind of studies degrees or gender studies, African American studies, Asian studies, and communications. Nonprofits are where these women go to try to eke out a living. These are where these women go. They get overworked, underpaid, and have to tell everybody about how they're sacrificing to save the greater community in the world. So imagine what life is like for these guys in the nonprofit world. Can you imagine? Well, we're going to find out by reading this article. Before I do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And let's get into this. So we asked Blue Avocado's male readers to let us know their thoughts on being men in the majority female nonprofit world. What we learned surprised us and raised new questions. The facts are that women comprise 70 to 75% of nonprofit employees. The experience of this person reflects this exactly. You go to a United Way quarterly meeting, he remarked, and there might be one other man in a room of 35 people. But this, as they say, is just the tip of the iceberg of what it's like for men who work in the female majority nonprofit sector. Male and female stereotypes. Readers' experiences show that gender stereotypes, both pernicious and benign, haven't gone away. There are stereotypes about men. Men who work in nonprofits are those who couldn't make it in the for-profit sector. That's what I think, 100%. You want to take the easy way out. You didn't want to be competitive, or you want to save everyone but yourself. And about women. Women are good managers because they're nurturing rather than because they're strategic or rainmakers. Several men spoke about being looked down upon for the nonprofit jobs by men in their for-profit sector. Hey, but it's the same thing with women. A lot of women, if you say I work for a nonprofit, they're going to assume you don't make any money, that you're not ambitious because you don't make any money and you're probably not ambitious. Look, guys, I'm just being real over here. Okay? Tell me I'm lying. I often get the look from men I know, commented one man. My male friends work in the for-profit sector. They don't understand the nonprofit sector. The look is the facial expression of, oh, how good of you to work in a nonprofit. Men are valued on the resources that they can accumulate, their income. Men work long hours. So why are you doing it in the nonprofit sector where everybody knows only a small percentage of people make not just a living wage, a wage to be able to support a family and pay the cost to be the boss? See, women can work at a nonprofit for 30 years only making $40,000 a year. They can pursue their, I have this dream of opening my own nonprofit one day, or, I'm going to save all these people, and they can hold on to that dream for 30 years. Men, we can't. We're going to get audited by society and by women. Why are you 40 years old working at a nonprofit making $58,000 a year? Why are you not making more money? Why can't you provide me with comfort and security? Women will ask a guy that works at a nonprofit. Another man said something similar. In the for-profit sector, I've seen as a man. Oh, wait. Another man said something similar. In the for-profit sector, I'm seen as a man who couldn't make it in the real world. Still another laugh. But look, at first it actually bothered me. My whole masculine identity being challenged. Then the nice guy in him couldn't help but add, then I saw it as an opportunity for education. But look or no look, being the only man in a nonprofit organization tends to carry certain privileges. As an African American male reader, we'll call him Ron, told us, being the only man in a female organization is like being the only white in a black school, Ron said. Even though you're the minority, you have the confidence that comes from having spent most of your life in a dominant position. Now, this no longer applies because of the M2 movement. It's 2024. I wonder if they would, if they circle back around to this guy now, what he had to say. And times sure were different back in 2010, weren't they, guys? Man. Loneliness of the lone man. Blue Avocado readers expressed a range of reactions and responses: amusement, embarrassment, and proactive organizing to being the lone man in the office. Sam Richardson of the Historical Society is a bit rueful but not resentful about being the lone man. Sometimes they stop talking when I walk into the room, but they joke about it. They are mindful when there's a guy here, so they're more careful about personal things like jokes. Sounds like women should be doing this when they're in when they approach uh, male-dominated spaces. But women don't give men any kind of grace when they're going into a male-dominated space. They expect reality to warp around them. And I guarantee you, the only reason why these guys are saying this is because they were asked by a company. These guys will not go on social media and say, "Oh, it's so hard for us out here." No. You know, I might do a video and look through TikTok about men in the nonprofit sector. I might do that. Anyway, one over 60 man described a cultural dissonance with the 20-something women in his office. They live in a different world than the one I know. When they start to talk about boyfriends and the periods, I'm embarrassed. I try to just slip out of the room. Man, this was a long time ago, because this would never happen now. States another older man, maybe I shouldn't be, but I can't help but be uncomfortable when a woman is breastfeeding in a meeting. In fact, I can't stand it. Yikes. This is 2010, guys. Carl Morrison volunteered as a leader in a local chapter of NALS, the Association for Legal Professionals, a group that works in a profession traditionally associated with women, legal secretaries, legal assistants, and paralegals. Yikes, what a miserable life. Carlos found the group very receptive to his idea of a forming a fraternity, so the isolated men would realize that they're not the only ones out here. This group will also be encouraging career counselors to suggest paralegal, legal assistant, and legal secretary positions to men as well as women. So, okay, gender fundraising, I don't care about that. Are women more nurturing? In spite of occasional loneliness, many men find their female-dominated workplaces inviting. Should we be surprised or completely unsurprised that many men who work in women majority organizations appreciate the qualities traditionally associated with women, which can make the argument, why do so many women try to be men? Why? Or why is the version of strength that women want to adhere to something male? I don't get it. Working in a female majority sector means a workplace that is less competitive and more collaborative. Women tend to place importance on employee well-being as well as getting the work done, which is why so many women work in the nonprofit sector. His comments were echoed by other men. I find it easier to work with women. Men often think they have all the answers, while women want to hear other people's opinions. Women executives in the nonprofit world tend to be nurturing, supportive. They understand the need to groom a new generation. Women are able to exhibit their passion for the cause better than men. I really have to work at demonstrating the passion. Another stereotype, of course, is exactly the opposite, that women are competitive with each other, undercutting shrewish. We did hear this one from one attorney in a legal office where all the other staff are women. There's no collegiality and everyone is passive aggressive. This is 100% true, guys. Of course, these characteristics are both positive and negative, are true of many men too. It's hard to know how to react when someone describes a trait and attributes it to a gender. Um, so they ask these questions in a gender about what's it like for men to be in the midst of a female majority workplace culture often found in nonprofits? No one cares about that. How do stereotypes about gender roles play themselves out? They don't care when it comes to men having to deal with women stereotyping them. Chicken or the egg? Do women dominate in the sector because they can't compete in the for-profit sector, or is the sector poorly paid because it is mostly women? I'll answer that. Women dominate the sector because, once again, women don't focus on status and money as much as men. Women want to save everybody but themselves. That's why a lot of these women in nonprofits, their personal lives are a mess. and they want to hold on to that. And women are more concerned with titles. So I work at a nonprofit, but I only make $40,000 a year, but I'm the regional director, vice president of the diversity inclusion for women and homeless shelters. That's why. Whereas the sector poorly paid because it's mostly women. I mean, it's a nonprofit. And think about this: everybody knows that if you go in a nonprofit, you're not going to get paid. Why is gender imbalance discussed only in passing and not as a serious nonprofit matter? Should we be concerned or proud that the sector is led and dominated by women? Okay, it says other concerns touch at the heart of societal power relationships. Choosing his words carefully, Ron wistfully noted, when you're female or you're black, there's some part of you that feels lesser than, whether you recognize that consciously or not. Could it be that these unconscious views carry over into how both men and women think of ourselves and our sector? We hope this article speaks some serious conversations about the reasons for the implications of what, and if anything, we should think and do about multiple dimensions of a female majority nonprofit sector. Yeah, no one cares, dude. No one cares about the fact that men are underrepresented anywhere. Men are underrepresented in college, the hair industry, all sorts of different industries, but no one cares. And once again, this article was 2010. Is 2024, and the nonprofit sector is still 75% women. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.